Salvete Discipuli. I'm not there with you today. I'm home with a sick little kiddo. But I wanted to make sure that you can get going on your Fabula and Sacco projects, even though I'm not there. So please make sure all of you have a purple packet. Has all the instructions that you'll need, as well as the list of myths that we're using this year. So when you get the myth stories from the substitute, please make sure that everyone has a different myth and that you have one each of the stories that are listed in the purple packet. The only one that you won't have between the 10 of you is Baucis and Philemon, because I'm going to tell you that story now. When you're done watching this video, you will use the other links and resources on the Schoology page to work on building your story in a bag. Okay. All right, so I'm about to tell you the story of Baucis and Philemon. And this is a story of hospice, or hospitality. This is the relationship between guest and host and family friend, and all of the requirements that are inside of that whole idea. It's a big idea. Olim, once upon a time, long ago, there were two gods, Jupiter and Hermes. Jupiter and Hermes were looking down from Mount Olympus and noticed that people weren't being very nice to each other. They weren't living up to the requirements of hospice. It was a big deal in ancient times. Everything's all about hospice. So they decided to go down from Mount Olympus, put on disguises, and test out this theory and see if there was anyone good enough that they were being good hosts. So they came down from Mount Olympus, disguised. It's just normal people, nobody fancy. They're beggars. They just need a place to stay. So they go to all the houses in the valley and they ask for hospitality, even just something simple to eat, any morsel of kindness from the people who live there. And no one will give them hospitality. They're turned away at every single door until they come to the very simple house of Baucis and his wife Philemon. Baucis and Philemon are an older couple who live a very simple country life. They have a simple house, make their own foods, simple life. And they, of course, when they meet the beggars, in disguise, gods, say, of course, come on in, please come in. We're wonderful hosts, please come in. And have the gods come into their house, sit down. They give them everything that they possibly can. But remember that Baucis and Philemon are very poor. So they offer them everything they can, but they don't have much. And Baucis says, well, I think that we are going to have to kill our chicken. It's their guard chicken. It's really all they have, but it's the only meat that they have to offer their guests. So they decide to go kill that chicken. And they run out to kill the chicken, but remember that they're very old, an old couple, and they can't catch the darn chicken. Can't catch the darn chicken, so they're running all over trying to kill it. And Hermes, who finds this rather humorous but also very sweet, says, stop. Don't kill your chicken. It turns out that we are not beggars and in need of food. We're gods, and we're testing your hospitality. And you passed with flying colors. They said, however, the rest of your neighborhood failed miserably. So please come up to Mount Olympus with us, to the mountain above. And we're going to have to punish everyone around. So Baucis and Philemon come up to the mountain and watch from on high as Jupiter and Hermes send a great flood to the valley. Great flood, which overwhelms everything in the valley, the entire neighborhood. Baucis and Philemon watch with tears in their eyes because even though the people had done something bad, they feel really badly for them. They didn't want them to be punished. But when the waters recede, their house is not destroyed, but has turned into a beautiful temple of Jupiter and Hermes. Jupiter and Hermes tell Baucis and Philemon that because they were so good, they can have whatever wish they like, granted by the two gods. Baucis and Philemon say, oh, that's a big wish. We got to go discuss this. So they go and discuss for a little while what they would like better than anything else. They come back and they tell the gods, the first thing that we would like is to be priests and caretakers of your temple for the rest of our lives. Okay? So the gods say, yeah, okay, you can have that. Then they say, our other dearest wish is that we love each other so much, we want to grow old together, and we never want the one to ever be without the other. So we'd like to die at the exact same time. Okay? And the gods agree and grant them that wish. So many years pass. Baucis and Philemon are wonderful caretakers of the temple, but one day they know that their time has come. And Baucis looks at Philemon and he sees that her ears are turning to sort of a greenish leafy color. And Philemon looks at Baucis and she sees that his skin is starting to change into bark. And as they die, they both turn into trees. But because they're dying at the exact same time, they turn into trees, and they are wound together so that they can be together forever. This story is the explanation for why the two trees next to this temple of Jupiter are wound together and always bound for all time. The end. Finis. Okay, so things to think about for when you do your myth. I chose simple-looking little toys for the simple farmers. I had Flynn Rider, who's sort of a trickster in the Rapunzel movie, and Hermes is the trickster god. Captain America is the head of the Avengers, so he can be the head of the gods as Jupiter. And props that, not trees, but something that you could remember that was wound together. So whatever kind of props you want, but remember that they need to be memorable for students, and that they should have some relation to what you're doing. So don't just choose random toys. Have them have some kind of link to what you're trying to express. Remember that the Latin 3 students are going, and the other Latin 4 students are going to be relying on you to learn this myth. So it's up to you to make it memorable and to make it clear and understandable. Okay. All right. Well, good luck on your myths. You have today, the rest of today, to work on yours. I recommend reading your myth that I've given you, research another version, start thinking of ideas for props, and start writing your script. That might be something that takes the longest. And then on Thursday, you'll have that whole day to work on the computers again. And then the next week, you start presentations. Okay. Have a wonderful day. I will see you on Thursday. Walete.